A for apple, B for boy. Yes, you're welcome again. Today we're going to be looking at the A to Z of real estate terms. Now, before you can understand a particular thing, you need to understand it from the simplest to the complex. And what do I mean by that? When you want to understand a particular subject, you need to understand the different terminologies that are used in that particular field. So today, you are here again at Property Varsity. My name is Samuel Tiamiyu. If this is your first time, you might not have met me before, so I'm popularly known as the first class property lawyer. And today, like I said, we will look at the A to Z of real estate terminologies. If you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly go subscribe and then like this video, because this video is very fantastic. You just want to watch it till the end. And at the end of this video, I'm going to be telling you certain things you need to watch out for when you are buying land. Very, very important. I'm going to be sharing a very important tip about things you need to watch out for when you are buying a land. So make sure you watch this video to the very end. The first one is, give me the first letter, A. What is acquisition? What does it mean in real estate? Acquisition means to acquire something, right? That's a layman's term. That's a general terminology. But when it comes to real estate, acquisition means, especially when you join the word government with government acquisition, it means that government has acquired that particular land. What it means is that you shouldn't buy it. If you go to our Facebook page, Posh City Luxury Properties on Facebook, you should also go there and like that page, because I share a lot of content about it. In fact, there are a lot of contents there already. So you want to go and check it. Now, what I talked about there was a particular article that I wrote about don't buy this land, and it's about lands that are under government acquisition. Let me tell you something, that by virtue of the Land Use Act, all land belongs to the government, and that means that the governor of your state owns the land, but then he cannot use it for family house. He can only hold it in trust for all the people, or all the people of Nigeria. So if you want to get a particular land, sometimes, of course, if you want to get a particular place, you will have to go to the governor for either ratification or to process your CFO. Now, why can't you just buy from Omonile or from the family and then just get the documents and then you're fine? No, that is what we are talking about. First, acquisition, when it comes to government acquisition, it means that government has acquired that place. Government wants to use that land for a particular thing, especially when it is called committed acquisition. Committed acquisition means that government has said, in fact, sometimes you will see some places, they will say you should keep off. Some places they will be selling for very cheap amounts. That's how to know a land that is under acquisition. Maybe other neighbors are selling for like 5 million. That land can be sold for like 2 million, 1.5. Why? You should be very, very careful, because greed can lead you into buying a land that is not genuine. So first, when government has said this particular place is for barrack, is for school, is for particular thing, you must be very careful not to go and buy that type of land, because if it turns out that government after 10 years, 15 years, they wake up one day and they say, okay, let's build this refinery, let's build this barrack, let's build this particular project, then what are you going to do? So please, very important, A is acquisition. It can be committed acquisition or global acquisition. Global acquisition is where government has acquired it, but not for a specific purpose. So you can still go to the government and say, government, we know you have acquired this place, but we want you to give it to us. So what you are simply, the application is simply telling the government to give out that portion of land to you. So you can go there, do ratification, and then continue with all the other process. So very important, in real estate acquisition, don't buy a land that is. Another term that is usually used is called ancillary fees. Ancillary fees. Remember, we are still talking about ancillary fees. Now, what are ancillary fees? If you are buying a property, let's say land, from a real estate companies usually have ancillary fees. That means fees that are attached to the main fee. So take for example, you are buying the land for 20 million naira. The ancillary fee might be 2 million naira or 5 million naira. And what is it for? It might be for development of the estate, to do drainage, perimeter fencing, and all of that. Then it can also, of course, for documentation, they will charge you for deed of assignment and the survey plan. So all of these fees are part of it. So don't just say, oh, the land is sold for 600,000. Ask them, what are the other fees? What are the ancillary fees? So please, this is very important. So when they say ancillary fees, what it means is that these are additional fees to what A, B, C. B now. Now, when it comes to B, in real estate, most times when you are conversing with a realtor or somebody, they ask you, what's your budget? Now, in real estate, you should always come up with a budget. So, take for example, you want to buy a home for yourself, or a family home, or a land. You should have a budget that, okay, my budget is 1.5, my budget is 100 million, my budget is 50 million. You should have a budget, because that will help the realtor to be able to guide you. What we'll be talking about is C. What is C? Contract of sale. Now, maybe you've heard about contract of sale before. What does contract of sale mean? Contract of sale is just like a contract. A contract is an agreement. It's an agreement to sell a particular property, particular real estate. Now, when do you need contract of sale? You need contract of sale if you are paying in installments. A lot of people do installment payments and then they just go to sleep. You don't go to sleep when you do installment payment, because what if the person dies? What if the person is no more? What happens? So you need to safeguard your investment, what you have paid so far, by doing what? By doing a contract of sale. You draft the contract, you contact a lawyer to do that for you. You draft the contract of sale. The contract of sale will evidence that, okay, we have an agreement to sell land to me, and I will pay this particular amount of money over this period of time and all of that. So if the person dies, you can sue his family members to get the land. But what if the person dies? Who do you sue? Answer the question. Next thing is called certificate of occupancy. What is certificate of occupancy? A lot of people like CFO. I want a CFO land. What is CFO? Now, you know what certificate means. A certificate is like an evidence of something, right? Now, what is occupancy? Occupancy means you are occupying a particular place, right? Now, just like tenancy agreement, the tenancy agreement is the opposite of certificate of occupancy. Now, the tenancy agreement allows you to use a particular place for a period of time. A tenancy agreement is usually for tenancy. So you are using a part of that land for a period of time. But when it comes to certificate of occupancy, it means that the government has granted you access, they have granted you the right to use a particular land for a period of time called 99 years. I'm still coming to that, but I want you to understand certificate of occupancy very well by going into the history, very short. Now, in 1978, the Land Use Act was promulgated, it was enacted. Now, when the Land Use Act came, all lands were given to the government. So lands were taken from family members, from Omonile to the government. You know, there's an article I also wrote on my Facebook. You can go and check it. And the title of the article is, Who Owns Lagos Land? Is it Shomolu or Omonile? Now, the lands were given to the governors. The governors had to hold it in trust for the Nigerians. Now, in this kind of situation, if you now go back to the governor and say, okay, you got from Omonile, you have to go to the government. The government will now look at your document, the deed of assignment and every other thing. Okay, you have paid for this land. Then the government will now give you what you call certificate of occupancy. Now, that certificate of occupancy is for 99 years. A lot of people don't check. So take for example, I bought a land in 2010 and this is 2012. And maybe I got the certificate of occupancy in 2010. This is 2012. That means already I have used up to 12 years out of the 99 years. So take for example, please watch this. If you buy a land that has CFO, take for example in the same neighborhood, somebody is selling CFO for 20 million, another person is selling CFO for 35 million. You need to check. Okay, you are wondering, this is not the same CFO. Why should I pay 35 million and then this person is selling for 20 million? You need to check. Perhaps the 20 million has, let's say, 40 years remaining or 30 years remaining. You need to check. So the number of years that is remaining in that particular property. This is very, very important, so that you don't buy a CFO and then it turns out that the number of years is not as much as you think. So it's for 99 years. So it keeps counting from year to year until that CFO expires. But does that mean you should not invest in CFO? You should. Yes, we are still waiting for what the government will do after 99 years. If you count 1978 till date, it's not up to 99. So after 99 years, I don't know, maybe the government will now decide that, okay, everybody come, if your own has expired, come and pay maybe a small amount of money, and then we will renew it for you for another 99 years. So please make sure you check this. It's very, very important. And certificate of occupancy is actually a very good title. So when it comes to title in Nigeria, certificate of occupancy is a very, very, very good title. In fact, just like I said in one of my articles too on Facebook, that you can increase the value of your land by the title. So you can try to upgrade your title to gazettes or certificate of occupancy so that you can sell assignment. If you did not do your school assignment, make sure you do this assignment now, because if you don't do this assignment, I'm going to flog you. Don't worry, I won't flog you. Now, deed of assignment is a document that evidences transfer of property. Assignment means transfer. That's what it means. Transfer. So you are transferring something to another person. Now, deed of assignment, a deed is a document, is a legal document. In fact, is a formal document, signed, sealed, and delivered. So in law, we call deed a formal document. Is a standard document when it comes to contract. You know, contract can be by oral, word of mouth, it can be in writing, and it can be a formal contract. But when it comes to formal contract, we talk about deed of assignment. That word is very heavy. Now, when it comes to deed of assignment shows that Mr. A has transferred his land to you. A lot of people buy land and they get only payment receipt. Please, if you have done that, go and repent. Now, because it is not sufficient. Receipt alone does not safeguard you. Receipt alone does not mean that you are the new owner of the land. Receipt only shows that I collected money from you. So in the next 10 years, even if the land has appreciated by 1,000%, I can say, okay, I collected land money from you 10 years ago. Take your money now. I want to collect my land back. Because the land still belongs to the person. The only document that shows that you have transferred the land to the person is called deed of assignment. But a lot of people are running away from deed of assignment. Deed of assignment does not bite. It doesn't bite. It doesn't bite. Now, they are running away because they are looking at the cost. But I want to tell you that when it comes to documentation, take it seriously. Because tomorrow Omonile can come after you and say, this land, we want to sell it. Or they want to cut part of it. I remember even my own dad, when he bought his land. In fact, there was a time that we had to build on the other part of the land because we were afraid that they would take it. But if you have a deed of assignment, you are rest assured, nobody can take your land. With a deed of assignment and a survey plan, you can go to sleep. Then you can now, in the future, process your certificate of occupancy and other, land. Please make sure you get a deed of assignment. Like I said, if you don't do this assignment. Alright, thank you for watching till this time. Now we are still going to the next one, but I want to appreciate you for watching till this time. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you write your comment. If you don't understand anything from what I've said so far, make sure you put your comment down below, or also subscribe, like this video, and so that you can encourage me to do it for free. I didn't learn this thing for free, but I'm teaching you for free. So encourage me, like it, comment, anything, and if you want me to do any video on any area that you don't understand, just put it in the comment section, and also subscribe to this channel. Share it with your friends, because a lot of people don't know about real estate. They want to make money from real estate, but they are not ready to learn. Please make sure you learn real estate. You will enjoy real estate. Real estate has a lot of benefits. It can help you to make money. It can help you to manage money, because it's not easy to sell land. Okay, if you have money today, you can go ATM, withdraw. But land is not like that. So it helps you to manage it by force. And then you can also multiply money, because once you invest, your land keeps appreciating. So please invest in real estate. The next D is called due diligence. What is due diligence? Due diligence is trying to search out, trying to confirm, trying to be sure of what you are buying. A lot of people want to buy property and they just jump in straight. They don't want to consult a lawyer, they don't want to consult anybody. The only people they consult is their village people. No, me juju be that. They consult their village people and their friends who don't even know about real estate. They don't even know land titles. They don't even know some of these things that we are sharing here. So you want to consult the right people. You want to make your search, because the CFO that they are showing you might not be genuine. You know, a colleague shared with me that she took a CFO to land registry at Alausa, Lagos, and they discovered that it was a cloned CFO. Can you believe that? Can you just imagine how people can clone a CFO? You know, do a CFO that looks like an original one and then begin to parrot it as the right one. So people come to you and they say, okay, you want to buy land? They ask CFO, it has this. You want to check? Because CFO usually comes with number, page, and volume number. So with that, you can take that and go to land registry and confirm, or you employ a professional, a lawyer, to do that for you. And then the lawyer too will be able to understand what to look out for. When you send a land document, like a particular client sent a land document to me, can you imagine what I saw? What I actually saw was to whom it may concern. I wrote an article on that, to whom it may concern. There's no land document like that. There's nothing like that. So you need to check. Imagine somebody giving that kind of land. So due diligence is very important. Thank God the client reached out to me and I was able to say, no, this is not a land document. Don't even dare it. Due diligence is very key. You don't just want to put your money in the dustbin and expecting returns. No. Invest in knowledge. And that's why if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Because this is just the first video. I'm going to be sharing a lot of things. Land titles. How do you know? In fact, by the time you are done with this university, you can simply invest in real estate and go and sleep. Yes, I can assure you, all your properties. So your money in the bank, your land, somewhere in Lagos or in Abuja or anywhere, all of these things are part of your estate. I wrote an article called estate plan, like how do you plan your estate. Now, one of the ways of planning your estate is by writing a will. I will discuss that when I get to W. Now, estate is all that you have when it comes to property. So we have what we call real property, like land is a real property, your building is a real property. Then we have personal properties like your shares and your money and the rest of them. So estate, very important. The next one is F, freehold. When it comes to land title, there is leasehold and there is freehold. I'll discuss leasehold later, but freehold means that the government is not looking at that particular location. That means the government is not looking at using that particular location for anything. You know, when we talked about government acquisition, if the government gives you part of the land, it will become leasehold. That's why we talked about 99 years. That means they are giving a lease for 99 years. Now, when it comes to freehold, the government is not using it. So you can go there, buy the land, and of course, most of the land in the bank is what? Freehold. Because most of the land are even dedicated for agriculture and the rest of them. But even if it's planned for agriculture, you can still go to the government and do ratification for commercial or residential use. So thank you for watching this channel. I want to appreciate you. It shows that you are ready to learn. For you to watch this video to this point, this is about 24 minutes of this video. It shows that you are ready to learn, and I want to give you salute. Yes, thank you for watching. Yes, you need to keep watching. And like I said, I'm going to share with you some tips that you need to watch out. You want to buy land, what are things you need to watch out for, when you are buying land. So make sure you watch till the end of this video. So the next one we're talking about is G, letter G for go. No, what is the gazette? I've mentioned that before. When you buy a land that is acquired by government, you upgrade you go for excision. Excision is government giving you part of it. Now when you get excision, the government will now publish it in the gazette. So the gazette, like I said, is like the government newspaper. Yes. So when it is now published in the gazette, they will show you the areas of land that has been excised, this area and that area. So gazette is very important. And gazette is also one of the land titles. I'm going to be doing another video on land titles. These are just terms. So when I do the video on land titles, please watch out for that video. I'll be able to explain in a greater detail. But this is just to tell you what are the terms we use in real estate. So when we say gazette, you don't say gazette. Gazette. No, you need to know what is gazette, when it comes to buying. H. Now, when it comes to H, what is H? House. Yes. In real estate, we talk about house. Now, what I want to say is that, does your house appreciate? That's a question for you. Should I answer the question or not? Maybe you should answer it in the comment section. I want you to share your views in the comment section, but let me talk about it too. But I want to hear your views in the comment section. Does your house appreciate? Is it the land that appreciates or the house that is on it? So take for example, you have built your house for like 10 years. Can you say the house has appreciated, the value has appreciated? Or is the land that is appreciating? What appreciates is the land. Yes, it is the land that appreciates, not the house. In fact, most times the house depreciates because you have to fix the roof, you have to do this, you have to do that. All of that needs to be done. So the house does not appreciate, but the land, you might have heard about initial deposit. Some people will see maybe one poster along Lekki Expressway, and you will see, buy your house in Banana Island, 1 million naira or 5 million naira initial deposit. They will not check the initial deposit. What they are looking at is 5 million naira house in Banana Island. Wow, no be juju be that. It's juju, and they will scam you because you can't get a house for 5 million naira in Banana Island. No, it's not possible. Initial deposit is what you pay. The initial money you are paying, then that particular land is secured for you until you are able to finish paying in installments. And when you do an initial deposit payment, just like I explained when I talked about contract of sale, you should have a contract of sale. That's to evidence that, okay, you collected so amount of money from this person and it's going to pay over this period of time. Please, it's very, very important, because if you just feel that, I have acquired this land, what if the person dies? You need something to show that they've collected money from you, because they will not give you a deed of assignment at that point, because you've not finished paying. So initial deposit is very important, and this one is called judgment. Now, as part of the land title is what we call judgment. Last week I was going through a particular area and I kept seeing SC/so possession taken over by court order. I know you would have seen that before. Sometimes it's EFCC, but sometimes it's court. Maybe a particular person has gone to court and he has obtained judgment that is now the owner of that place. So you will come and just put it there. Possession taken over. This one SC so number. Now, when you are buying a land that has judgment as the title, what do you need to watch out for? First, you need to watch out, is it the judgment of the High Court, judgment of the Court of Appeal, or judgment of the Supreme Court? The one that you should buy is that of the Supreme Court, because any decision of the Supreme Court cannot be appealed. So take for example, you buy a land that has High Court judgment. Hey! The implication is that if the person goes to the Court of Appeal and he wins, what happens? So take for example, you buy land from Mr. A. He got a judgment at High Court of Lagos State, and then Mr. A sold it to you. You just check and say, I've gotten judgment, and then you bought it. No. If Mr. B that Mr. A defeated, sorry for using the word defeated, had High Court decides to appeal to the Court of Appeal, what happens? So it means that if he appeals to the Court of Appeal and he wins, if Mr. B wins at Court of Appeal, the implication is that Mr. B is now the new owner. So you need to be very careful. If it's a judgment, you need to be sure that it's a Supreme Court judgment before you proceed to buy. And so we can have such things. Now, in real estate also, we talk about joint venture. What is joint venture? So I have the real estate knowledge, you have the money. We can come together, team up, buy land, build, sell, and share the profits. And this is another way by which you can make money without necessarily knowing much about real estate. But you should also know, so that you can be able to know the best thing to do at every particular time. Very important. Now the next thing is called L. The next letter is L. Now L is leasehold. I've mentioned leasehold when I talked about freehold. Now leasehold is a land that is given to you to be used for a particular period of time. So it's just like tenancy lease. When you say something is on lease, that means you are not holding it for life. If it's freehold, it's for life. There is no particular limit to it. That's why I said when you buy a CFO, you should check, because CFO is leasehold title. It is a leasehold title. Why? Because they are leasing it to you for a period of 99 years. After 99 years, the land may revert back to the government. The reason why I'm using the word may is because 1978, that's when we started this issue of leasehold in Nigeria and the Land Use Act and the rest of them. So we don't know what's going to happen, whether government is going to say, okay, the land will revert back to us and then you can now pay an amount of money to renew it. We don't know what's going to happen, but let's wait for 99. Yes. Alright, so the next one is lease. Lease has to do with normal tenancy. So, but in law, we look at lease as something that is beyond 3 years. So, if you are doing a tenancy that is beyond 3 years, we call it lease. But then it's just almost like tenancy. You are using a land, and that is why I say real estate is powerful. You can just buy a land, lease it to a church, lease it to a mosque, lease it to a particular organization or a school. They will just put their temporary shelter there or a temporary structure there, and you'll be collecting money. That's lease. It can be for 10 years. So you cannot come back after the land has appreciated and sell it off. So you can make money, cash out at any time. Now the next one is landlord. Of course, landlord is somebody who owns a land. And then the next one is land banking. L. Under L is land banking. Land banking is just like you put money in a bank. Land banking is you saving land. How do you save land? Now, when you buy land in bulk and you are not buying to build, you are buying to invest. A lot of people always want to buy to build. I want to build my house. It's good to build your house, but when you are doing real estate, don't just think about building your house. Also think about investment. So when you are doing real estate, you should also think about land banking. Land banking is when you buy land for investment purpose. So you buy, let's say, an acre of land, 6 plots, or an hectare of land, 15 plots, and you just keep it for 10 years. You keep it for 5 years. Imagine there was a land selling at 1.5 million naira at lekki. One of the land owned by GTEX Homes. Now, that particular land, can you imagine, 1.5 for about 5 years ago. Now the land is sold for 15 million naira. From 1.5 to 15 million naira. Imagine. So if you have put your money in that one plot of land, what that means is that by now you'll be having 15 million. And that is so when it comes to land banking, you need to also be guided. I'll be doing a video on land banking later, but just know that you can also deposit land. Yes, just as you deposit money in your savings account, you can deposit land in your land. So, how many plots of land do you have in your land bank account? So you can have a land bank account where you keep a lot of plots of land, acres of land. If you want to do land banking, I'm going to do a video on that, like I said. So land banking gives you a lot of money. In fact, should I share this with you? Have you subscribed? Now, if you have subscribed, kudos to you. When it comes to land banking, In fact, land banking is one of the ways by which you can multiply your money in real estate. In fact, that's like the surest way. That's the surest way. If you want to multiply your money in real estate, just do land banking. But make sure you do it the right way. So I'm going to, this one is called land receipt. You bought land and they gave you receipts. What's the implication? The legal implication is that land has not been transferred to you, but there's an evidence that you paid. What if they say, okay, this is not the land we showed you? They do that a lot. They will sell a particular good place for you. It might be corner piece, very good place. The value will appreciate fast. When they get another buyer that can pay more, they will sell it to another person. And then you come and then, wow, you say, give me my land, this one. They will tell you, no, did we show you this land? No, don't worry. We'll take it to another one. They'll take it to another place, far away. What you need to do in order to be able to avoid this is to secure it by doing a deed of assignment and then your survey plan. I also did a particular article on that. Go to our Facebook page, Posh City Luxury Properties, on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. Go there, like those pages, follow the pages, because I share a lot of content there too. Now, in fact, there are a lot of contents there already, so go and check. Now, as a matter of fact, this thing we are talking about has made a lot of people to lose their hard-earned money, because they only get receipts and they go to sleep. They get receipts and they go to sleep. Wow, rhymes. Now, you don't just get receipts and go to sleep. You need to get your deed of assignment and your survey plan. In fact, if you don't get anything when it comes to buying land, make sure you get the deed of assignment and your survey plan. These two documents are very important. Please make sure you get them. Don't just get land receipts and then you go to sleep. Omolele can come the next day. In fact, they can come 2 years after them and then come and chase you out of the place. Especially if you have not developed that particular land. Very important. Now, the next one is Omonile. Now, in real estate in Lagos, Omonile is a very common terminology because they are called the landowners. And you need to be very careful when you are dealing with Omonile. First, you need to do your documentation. Second, you need to do your due diligence to know whether they've not sold the land to another person. And one way of knowing that is before you finish paying to them. This is another very important tip. I'm sharing secrets with you. Okay, let me share it. Now, when you are dealing with Omonile, first, you need to do your due diligence. Second, you need to check out this particular property. Have they sold it to another person? Your due diligence will show that, okay, this land is free from government acquisition and all of that. Then the second thing you need to check is that, have they sold it to another person? Do your due diligence. Be sure that that land is free. Second, make sure you do your due diligence to be able to know that that land has not been sold to another person. And one way of doing that is to, first of all, ask around. Ask people around. So very important, when you are dealing with Omonile, you need to be very, very tactical. But then, I also advise that you deal with real estate companies directly, because with real estate companies, you don't have to go through all of these, problems, especially if it's a credible company, because that P is Posh City, yes! And that is the real estate company that is sponsoring this channel, Posh City Luxury Properties. You need to follow us on all our channels, on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. We share a lot of things that has to do with real estate. You need to know about real estate before you invest. You don't just put your money and then before you know about real estate. No. That's what a lot of poor and average people do. But you, I know, you are a billionaire. You are not an average person. You are not poor. So learn real estate before you invest. Learn it so that you can earn it. Yes. So Q. Yeah. Now Q is called ask questions. Ask questions before giving out your money. When it comes to real estate, you need to ask questions. Don't just jump into it. Don't just say, they are selling land in so place. Ask questions. What's the value? What's the title? Can I get a high return in this particular land? Very important. Make sure you ask questions. Then the next one is R. right of occupancy. Now, in Lagos, we use certificate of occupancy, but in Abuja, it is called right of occupancy. Now, the next one is rent. In real estate, we talk about rent. Thing that says landlords earn money in their sleep. That means tenants go to work for them. So that is why you need to own real estate, so that you can earn the passive income called rent. Very important. And also at Posh City, we help you manage your property. We do property management. And when it comes to property management, we help you safeguard your property. Number one, we help you collect rent. We help you make sure that tenants are paying. These are things you need to give out. You know, a lot of people don't even want to go through the stress. That's why some people cannot put tenants in their house. Why? Because they don't want to go through the stress of dealing with tenants. But you can outsource it to companies like Posh City Luxury Properties, where they can help you take care of all of these things. So we do that. We do property management. We give you the best of your investment when it comes to investing in rental properties. The next one is ratification. Ratification. Ratification is when a land has been earmarked for a particular purpose, and then you're asking the government to give you approval to use it for another purpose. So take for example, if it has been acquired by government, you can go to the government to ratify it. If it's a land earmarked for farming, a farmland like ikoyi, you can say, okay, government, I need this land for commercial, I need this land for residential. Then the government will ratify it. It's like an approval given to you. The next one is called return on investment. Maybe you have seen real estate companies advertising and they say, okay, get this normal ROI on your investment. Return on investment is your profit on your investment. And like I said, land banking is the largest. It's the one that can give you a mind-blowing return on investment. You just want to try land banking. But then check this channel for the video on land banking. I'm going to be doing a video on land banking that will teach you what I think you need to look out for when doing land banking, so that you can get the best security, the best return on investment. The next one is called SSS. By the way, my name starts from S. My name is Samuel Tamiyu. If you have watched this channel so far, my name is Samuel Tamiyu, and I'm popularly known as the first class property lawyer. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do. This particular channel, we are going to be dishing out a lot of free things, and I'm not going to be the only one doing this. I'll be bringing in people to share with you, industry experts to share with you a lot of things that has to do with real estate. Now, this channel is free, but it's a university, so there are a lot of things we'll be looking at. We are starting with this particular topic because I want to take you from the basic to the advanced. So now, if you're able to understand the basics, if you're able to understand the terminologies, then you'll be able to understand what people are saying when they begin to use terminologies that we have already discussed and we'll also discuss as we move on in this video. So click on the subscribe button. Make sure you like this video to encourage it. I'm going to be sharing with you how do you know a very good location to buy land. Yes, these are the things I've learned and more that I can share with you, and I'm sharing it for free. So you need to encourage me, like and subscribe to this channel. The next one is E. Don't forget we are doing A for real estate. Now the next one is excision. E is excision. What is an excision? An excision is a land title. And what excision means is that land, we said land has been given to the government. An excision is now the government giving you part of their land. So it's like, now, I want to buy a land in lekki, and it's already acquired by the government. I can approach the government, do an application to them and say, see, can you give me 600 square meter in this location? The government can give you. That's what we call excision. Now, if you want to buy a land and they tell you it's excision, what do you need to do? You need to go and check. Don't just say, oh, it's excision. It's okay. The first class property lawyer told me that the excision is good, so I am investing. No, you need to check. You need to confirm. Is it an excision in truth and indeed? You need to be sure. there is an excision. So, but if it's an excision, it's a very good title. Then you can now upgrade to gazettes and all of that. So, once an excision is given, it means that the government has given you part of that land. So, we talked about acquisition the other time. So, when you have global acquisition, the government can now give you part of that land for you to use. So, that means it has been granted to you. And then you can now, the government will now publish it in what we call a gazette. A gazette is like a public newspaper. Let me not say that. A gazette is like a government newspaper. Now, that's how governments publish laws. They publish laws through gazette. They publish excision in gazette. So, there are some lands in Lagos that have been excised already. Like places like Ikota, you see a lot of places that have been excised already. There are some places around Agogi, Swapatu that have been excised. So you need to confirm whether excision has actually been granted or not. Now, there's also what we call easement. It's not very common, but as a land lawyer, I can tell you that easement is a right of way. So it's a right given to people to use maybe a particular portion of your land as right of way, and so you cannot disturb them from doing that once that right has been granted to them. Now, the next E is estate. When people hear estate, what comes to their mind? VGC estate, Ikota estate, Lekki estate. No, when it comes to real estate, in fact, real estate. Okay, when it comes to it's like button and also comments. Your comments should be on, if you like this video, comment. If you want me to do a video on any of the topics you want, just suggest. I'll be ready to do that for you. So the next one is survey. Survey. Survey is a land document that shows the area of land that you have bought. This is very, very key. A deed of assignment shows that the land has been transferred to you. A survey plan shows that these are the areas that have been transferred to you. And it's usually, of course, the four corners of the area, which is usually noted by what we call the beacon number. Now, this is very key. When it comes to real estate, survey plan is very important, and you don't just get survey plan. Let me also say this first. When you get your survey plan, make sure you register it and lodge it at the land registry. If you have done that, you can go to sleep. At least you can sleep from 6 to 6. But then you can still move ahead to do your certificate of occupancy and the rest of them. But these two documents, deed of assignment and survey plan, are very, very important. If you don't have money at all, make sure you get those two documents. Now, when it comes to survey plan also, I've seen a particular survey plan that looks, it's just like an allocation. So when a company or anybody, usually a real estate companies, they will give you a survey plan. You need to check, is it a survey plan or a layout or the particular allocation that they have given to you. A survey plan will usually have certain characteristics. It will show your name, it will show the area, and any survey plan that you see, and then you see provisional copy, then it means that it has not been registered, and of course is also not the copy that you need to go and register. So please, very important. Now the next S is search. Just 2 weeks ago, I did a search for a particular client, and it's just to discover whether the land is actually okay or not. So land search helps you to know whether to buy a property or not. Because sometimes, like I said, some people will give you a particular document. It is search that will reveal that the document is fake. It is search that will reveal that the land is not genuine. It is search that will reveal that the land is under government acquisition. It is search that will reveal a lot of things about that land. So land search is very important. So contact a professional to help you do your search. Be a lawyer, be a surveyor, people that are real estate inclined. They know about real estate. They'll be able to help you do your land search. Now the next one is called T, trust. Have you heard about trust before? In real estate, we also heard about trust. Trust in law means that it's a relationship where the trustee is given a particular property to hold it for a beneficiary. Now, how does this play out? Take, for example, you as a person, you have a particular land and you feel that your son is too little or too young to manage that particular property, you can give it to your brother to manage it on behalf of your son, and when your son gets to a particular age, the land should be transferred or the property should be transferred back to your son. So trust is a relationship where the owner of a particular property transfers the property to a trustee, and then the trustee holds it for the benefit of the beneficiary. So when the beneficiary is old enough, the beneficiary can now take over that particular property. So are you enjoying this video? Make sure you like this video. As a matter of fact, real estate is sweet. Now the next one is you is under acquisition. I've mentioned that already. When the land is under acquisition, you should not buy it until you are able to do what you are supposed to do on that particular land. Then the next one is V, volume, page and number. Now when you have a CFO, CFO usually comes in number, page and volume number. So make sure you check out for that number. It is that number that you use to do search at the land registry. And also when you are doing land banking, make sure you do in volume. Make sure you do in volume. Don't just do land banking and just buy one plot. Yes, if that's what all you have, yes, for now you can, start with that. But when it comes to land banking, you should do in bulk. Imagine one man. Yes, of course, it's a company. Dangote PLC acquired a property at the lekki for the refinery. That property is 6 times the land area of Victoria Island, Lagos. If you have been to Victoria Island is not small. It's a very large city. It's a very large location. Now, if you times Victoria Island times 6, that is the area of land that Dangote has acquired. You can't tell me that man is only looking at refinery. He's not only looking at refinery, he's also looking at land banking, because years to come, he can decide to sell it and he will make a lot of money. Imagine maybe he bought one plot of land in that location for less than 100,000. Yes. And when he will be selling it, he might be selling it for up to 50 million naira for one plot. That's a lot of money. Real estate is so powerful, so powerful. First, we started by looking at A to Z of real estate terms, and we've gotten this far. I want to appreciate you for watching this video this far. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Put your comment down below and tell me what you want me to. Alright, thank you for watching to this time. So I promise that I'm going to share with you certain things you need to watch out for when you're buying a land. First, you need to watch out for location. What kind of location do you want to buy land in? And for you to be able to know how to determine the right location, you need to ask yourself, is it commercial or is it residential? So these things will guide you on how to determine that. I'm still going to be doing a video on this. The next thing you need to look out for is title. Location, title, location, title, location, title. Now, title is very important because the title of the land shows what is title. Title means ownership, the kind of ownership that land has. So is it gazette, is it certificate of occupancy, is it excision, is it freehold, is it leasehold, is it judgment of the court? All of these things you need to know before you buy land. Another thing is when you are buying third thing, documentation is very, very key. So if you are able to get it right when it comes to all of these things and other things that I'll be sharing in this channel, you just go relax and enjoy your real estate asset. Real estate is just wonderful and you want to invest in real estate. Please make sure you subscribe to this channel. If you like this video, make sure you like it and also put your comments below. I want to tell you that you can also share this video with your friends, and like I said, it's still free for now, but it will not always be free. Yes. So please make sure you keep watching this channel. I'll be talking about a lot of things. Like I said, this is Property Varsity. It's a university that helps you to know all you need to know before investing or after investing in your land or in your house. So please keep watching this channel and see you next time. I love you.